The same group that has attempted to put conservatives out of business may itself be going out of business. That's right, I'm talking about Media Matters. Now, for those of you who need a refresher, Media Matters is the same group that attempted to cancel Rush Limbaugh by taking him out of context and then using that information to pressure advertisers to boycott his show. Of course, the goal there was to get him off the airwaves, but it wasn't just about one person. Media Matters was also behind the Drop Fox campaign, which obviously, the goal was to get Fox News off of our televisions, and it wasn't just the radio, it wasn't just TV, it's even online. Ben Shapiro has accused Media Matters of working with the New York Times to pressure YouTube into censoring and shadow banning conservative channels. Well, all of this has come home to roost, according to the New York Times. Under siege from Trump and Musk, a top liberal group falls into crisis. Scrambling to pay legal fees, Media Matters has dialed back its criticism, trimmed its staff, and contemplated closing entirely. Now, the New York Times, of course, is trying to make this sound like President Trump and Musk are working together to take down Media Matters. We all know at this point, right, that Musk and President Trump are not really on the same page anymore. Who knows? Their friendship might be restored in the future, but it's not as if this is some coordinated effort. The reality is that most of this is actually because of the lawsuit that Elon Musk has filed against Media Matters. And hey, as the richest man in the world, Elon Musk has the deep pockets needed to, pay legal fees and keep this case going as long as possible. But what happened here is Media Matters is now $15 million in debt, and this was all accrued over the last 20 months because of this lawsuit by Elon Musk, as well as investigations by the FTC. Now, the group has slashed the size of its staff and scrambled to raise more cash from skittish donors, but because of everything going on, people don't really want to donate to Media Matters. And also, I should note that Media Matters is a Soros-backed organization. Yep, that pretty much says it all right there. Well, this fall from grace is really a big deal because since 2003, Media Matters has raised nearly $250 million. That's right, they've essentially averaged $25 million a year. Compare that to the $15 million in debt they're in right now. And during this time, they established themselves as a force in Democrat Party politics by effectively undermining major right-wing media figures and politicians. I guess you could say Media Matters is the granddaddy of cancel culture. Truly, the seeds of cancel culture were in that organization all those years ago. Of course, it's come to fruition now, and we've seen just how poisonous and toxic cancel culture is for our society. But of course, the irony here, like I said earlier, is that Media Matters' own demise could have been because of their own actions. It really is because of Elon Musk's lawsuit. So what happened? Well, according to the BBC, Elon Musk's ex sues Media Matters over anti-Semitism analysis. Basically, they claimed that ads were showing up next to racist, anti-Semitic posts on X. Now, before I get to that, this actually ended up costing X $75 million due to the boycott. Advertisers pulling out, and Media Matters was really putting the pressure on. Don't forget, this was right after Elon Musk bought X for $44 billion. So he obviously was invested in the company. He wants to get his money back. And like I said, he has the deepest pockets in the world. He can make life a living hell, legally speaking, for Media Matters. And yet they chose to pick a fight with him. Not the smartest move. So Elon Musk's social media platform X has sued a left-leaning pressure group that accused the site of allowing anti-Semitic posts next to advertising. X's lawsuit alleges that Media Matters for America manipulated data in an attempt to destroy the platform formerly known as Twitter. And it lists all these firms that have pulled out: Apple, Disney, IBM, etc., etc. Now, Media Matters ended up calling Musk a bully, but who's the real bully here when you're threatening people's livelihoods? Because it's not just Elon Musk, it's everyone who works for X, everyone who promotes their business on X. A lot of people use X to promote freelance services, their own small businesses. And then you're also hurting, it's just ridiculous, the double standard here. Now, some people are probably saying, oh, Daniel, it sounds like Media Matters actually had a point. Like, on the surface, this sounds good, right? The advocacy group said last week that ads had appeared on X alongside posts supporting Nazism, such as Hitler quotes and Holocaust denial. But that's not how ads work. As I've said before on the channel, one of my past experiences is is working for digital marketing agencies. So I personally have experience running massive campaigns on X, Facebook, Google. Like I've personally placed these ads. So when you advertise on Twitter, you are actually targeting a demographic. You're saying, I want to reach people that are this age. I want to reach this gender. They're interested in this. Basically, you create buyer personas, marketing avatars, and you target people based on their own interests. That way, hopefully, they're getting ads that they would naturally be interested in anyways. For example, let's say you wanted to open up a pizza shop. You could target people in that zip code if you wanted to go after college students. Oh, we'll say ages 18 to 22. Let's say you want to go soccer moms. Then you put in that age range, you put in the gender. There are so many things you can do. It's all about the demographics. So that's one half of the equation. The second half of the equation is, don't forget what was happening at this time. Why did Elon Musk buy Twitter? To restore free speech. He wanted conservatives to be able to post on X without suppression, without shadow banning. It had nothing to do with letting people post Nazi and Holocaust denial and anti-Semitic content. I mean, sure, whenever it comes to free speech, you're going to have a fringe minority, but keyword is the entire keyword, fringe minority. But what did Media Matters do? They pointed at the fringe minority as if they were representative of everything Elon Musk wanted to do. They thought we could point out the fringe people and get everyone on the same page. Because let's be real, who likes racists? No one. So they claimed, oh, your advertising dollars are showing up next to these racist posts. Well, that's not how the algorithm works. The algorithm doesn't target racist posts and say, oh, we're going to show your ads here. No, like I was telling you, it shows up based on the demographics. So if someone who happens to be racist fits a demographic that advertisers are targeting, no wonder ads are going to show up over there. It's just common sense. But like I said, it really is not about those fringe extremists. What it was about was conservatism being allowed on Twitter again. And that's why Elon Musk was targeted. Well, the president of Media Matters went on MSNBC today, and he just had a total meltdown. A lot to debunk here. I'll see you on the other side.
Where exactly are we, Angelo, right now?
I mean, we're at the beginning stages of a massive transformation and a closure and a reduction in civic spaces. And whether or not Trump and, Carr, who's the FCC chairman, and the rest of Project 2025's acolytes will be able to execute and fully implement that change is up to all of us. But we are at the beginning of that, and there are plenty of examples, one after the other, of, as Commissioner Gomez described it, cowardly capitulation. And, that trend isn't going away. It's only increasing. And on the flip side of that capitulation has been an increase in threats, not just from Commissioner Carr, but elsewhere, to leverage the power of government to, pressure business entities into caving or giving them what they want. I'll give one example before I turn it over to Cornell. The FTC recently approved a merger between two of the largest media buyers. And one of the conditions of that approval was that the media buyers would no longer remove ads or place advertisements based off of political or ideological considerations. I mean, that's an outrageous action for them to do, totally unprecedented. But they made it clear that if they wanted that deal to go through, no more saying you won't advertise on certain extremist kind of content. And that's one small example. So we're at the beginning of a larger change, and right now we see a lot of examples of it happening. Not a lot of backbone.
Even there, you heard him talk about, oh, they're going to advertise on extremist content. That's not how it works. And even his own, well, first of all, there is nothing wrong with talking about neutrality. That's what this whole merger, that's what the FTC was saying, was spend your money equally. Don't base it based off of politics. Don't say we're not going to spend ad dollars here just because you're a Republican. By the way, it also goes the other side. You can say, I mean, it's equal protection for both sides. But what he left out, let me pull this up for you because it's just absolutely crazy. This applies to the agencies. Take a look at the last sentence. By requiring neutrality, unless clients specify otherwise. It aims to ensure fair market access, yada, 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 yada. So essentially, they let these two huge major ad agencies, the people who actually place the ads, merge. And what they're not allowed to do is say, we're not going to spend dollars on Fox News because they're conservative. We're not allowed to spend dollars on MSNBC because they're Democrat. No, they're not allowed to do that. If something reaches their demographic, they're supposed to be neutral and just advertise wherever. But there is an exception, unless clients specify otherwise. So if, I don't know, MyPillow doesn't want to advertise on CNN, MyPillow has every right to do that. But the ad agency doesn't get to put their thumb on the scale. Personally, I think that's fair. I don't know about you. If you disagree, that's totally cool. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to see your input on that. Now, in case it isn't obvious, Media Matters was founded. Again, this is the premise. They were set out to neutralize powerful Republican information ecosystem. So that's why they went after conservatives on YouTube, Fox News, Rush Limbaugh. There is no pattern here. But despite all of their early success, they are now struggling so badly that they almost considered bankruptcy. That's right, bankruptcy. And if you guys know the name Mark Elias, this is not a coincidence. Media Matters owes $4 million to the Elias Law Group. Yeah, the Elias Law Group used to represent, I guess they still sort of do Media Matters, and this is a crazy story. So Media Matters owes them $4 million, and they did not have the money to pay Elias Media Group. So someone from Elias Media Group contacted Media Matters and said, hey, we'll cut you a deal. If you guys write us a check for $2.5 million and send it to us this week, we will eliminate the rest of your debt. We will eliminate $1.5 million from what you owe us. Well, apparently this really made them livid. If you take a look at the very bottom, the ultimatum did not set well inside Media Matters. You must be kidding. They were so upset. And so they are struggling to pay it all back. And because of that, Elias law firm took a step back, and they are only representing Media Matters when it comes to a small few things, and Media Matters has moved on to other law firms as well. Now, in all of this, Mr. Carusone, I don't know how to pronounce it, who is the president of Media Matters, in his statement suggested that, quote, all of this is a revenge campaign against Media Matters intended to stymie or stop us entirely from exercising our constitutional rights. Now, sort of right about that. Like, technically, they have a right to boycott and to organize boycotts. In fact, this has been affirmed by the Supreme Court, according to NAACP versus Claiborne Hardware. The Supreme Court has ruled that organizations similar to Media Matters can organize boycotts. So a lot of legal experts who I get information from believe that the case that Elon Musk has against Media Matters isn't really going to go anywhere. However, just like what Media Matters is doing is technically legal, but some would say is maybe abusing the system, no different than what Elon Musk is doing. Sure, he may not have the case, but he has the money, he has the pockets to pursue this litigation and make business for them a living hell. And who knows, maybe even take them out of business. What a turnaround. But as always, all of that is just my analysis and commentary. That is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from you. I mean, this is just so big. I usually have a question of the day. I have no question. Honestly, there's so much here to dig through, from the boycotts, their history, to Elon Musk's lawsuit, to the FTC. Like, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. In my last video, I asked everyone's thoughts on whether or not you would like the rebate from President Trump's tariffs, as he was toying with, or would prefer that money going towards the national debt. And I was very surprised. In the past, when I've talked about, I haven't talked about that specifically, obviously, but I've talked about similar issues, and more people are like, no, pay off the debt, pay off the debt, pay off the debt. And so far, the answers are probably 60% rebate. So I was surprised, to see that. But I think it's indicative of, even though the economy is improving right now, it's been a long past 4 years under Joe Biden. And even if the economy is improving, maybe you're in debt. Maybe you're struggling because of the last 4 years. Maybe you finally got in your footing down and it feels like you're just catching your breath, or you're like, and so I get that. And I don't think it has anything to do with what Trump is doing or what his policies are. So I don't begrudge anyone for holding that point of view, and I appreciate everyone sharing your stories with me. And if you are in a place where you're struggling right now, because so many of you said that, I truly hope that you at least see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I hope it comes sooner rather than later. If you haven't already, please be sure to leave me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.